morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, beautiful people. Today is Friday, the 3rd of May. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture, which is you guys. So I would say let's go around the room and introduce ourselves, but there's not many of us here. So I'm just going to introduce myself. Hi, it's your girl, Just Jean, the Black Queen, representing the fitness queens in the damn rascal scene. How you mean?
All right. And they call me Ema, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, news analyst, melanin jam-packed.
How are you?
I'm all right, man. The room is very melanated today.
Why? Why?
The mark's not here.
Oh, you're so out of order.
Oh, wait, check. I'm just trying to push the boat with the colorism thing again.
Really?
Yeah, man.
No, I gathered.
There's too much healing.
I'm so
joking.
done.
I'm
How you,
joking.
Brent?
I'm all right. Quick question. Give me a second.
A few people were really excited about seeing your face yesterday, the grand reveal.
Oh, serious?
Yeah, did you see the comments?
Nope.
Really?
Yeah, I took off my notifications.
Oh, okay. But yeah, there was some people were like, hey, what's cooking? Good looking. So guys, if you haven't seen what Brent looks like, please make sure you go and check out the last post on TDA. So it's the next video part of our campaign rollout. And you get to see Brent in there speaking the things, skin looking melanated.
Do you know why it was
smooth.
important for me to put my face out?
Why?
How about you, man? You know, why was it important for me to put my face out?
I guess for the naysayers who might think you might be a scam artist.
Is it?
You never know, man. You know, people like to be like, who's the man behind so and so?
I think, do you know
If
what I
it's a
think is
scammer,
really
who do we
good
go
though?
after?
I think I love how you've made that your brand. Like you're very inconspicuous. It drives, like everyone's nosy in it. Do you know what I mean? So the fact that you even are in the video and now we've said it, watch the views increase just because they want to go and see what you look like.
I liked the message that I got. That said, it was Batman before, but now it's
Clark Kent. Yeah. So you did read the note. So you did read the notification.
no. Somebody sent it to me.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I did
Yeah.
see that as well.
Yeah. But never mind. Yeah.
We've given you several minutes.
No. I was saying why it's important.
No, before you said you wanted to say something.
Yeah, hold up. I'm gonna read this.
Mm.
Okay, it is from. Well, you'll find out. Brent, is love meant to be easy or difficult? Do we have to humble ourselves to a degree because based on who we are, we might not be able to get what we want? Is it a sign that when I keep approaching black women and I get tons of numbers and more chance of yes when I go outside of my race? Is it a sign that a black woman who wants a black man doesn't get approached often by them, so it leaves her single? Who's that by, Emmanuel?
I know who that's by.
You're doing.
There we go.
Is that the young man who?
The young man
I gathered it was because it's a similar topic.
The young man himself.
But there was too much in there for me to even my brain to. You lost me. You're gonna have to break it up. Sorry.
Brent, is love meant to be easy or difficult?
He asked you, so you go first.
But you wanted to break it.
No, so break it. Yeah, we're gonna do it step by step. Is love meant to be easy or difficult? I don't think it's meant to be easy. I say that because I don't think loving anyone is easy, even family members. Like this morning, I had to pray. Yeah, when I was praying, I had to ask for like grace for my family members because I'm not gonna lie, everybody right now they're not even getting on my nerves, they're getting on my cells. Like it's beyond that point. Do you get what I mean?
Wow.
Why are you saying wow?
He said, it's not getting your nerves, it's deeper.
Yeah, they get on my cells.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm just like, and I know, and you know with me, yeah, I one thing I struggle to let things go. I'm gonna be honest. Like I really struggle to let things go, and it doesn't even have to be things that are big. It can be the most smallest thing. Yeah, but if I'm offended or hurt, yeah, it's like a wound. Do you get what I mean? So I literally was like praying this morning. I was like, do you know what? Yeah, just give me the grace to give other people grace in it, because this is hard, and I'm very much okay. And it sounds really harsh, but I'm so okay with just cutting people off, even if you are family. Like I don't have an issue with that at all. Just gonna be honest.
As an immediate family?
Yeah, but I know it's not. But I know it's not a good trait. Do you know what it is? I'm just fed up. I've had it up to here with life. I can't. So I'm just at that point where I'm just like, do you get what I mean? But I say that because I'm basically saying like, even loving your own family members is hard. Do you get what I mean? And that's meant to be unconditional love, as in. So what more relationship? Like, do you know what I mean? And I'm not talking, and when I say hard, I'm not talking toxic hard, if you get what I mean. But what I'm saying is it's not a walk in the park, is what I mean. So I don't think love is meant to be hard, but I just don't think it's easy, is what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I pretty much concur, but I think it can be. That's what I would say. I think it can be easy in the same way it can be hard. I feel like a lot of things in life, especially, to be fair, almost everything in life is down to the decisions we make. And I feel like if we all are introspective enough and we look back, we can see, of course, we may not have been educated enough or informed enough to make the best decisions at certain times, but a lot of the time we could tell it's down to decisions that we made, right? This is a lot of time, not, 100% of the time. And I feel like in situations where things could be made easy with somebody that you love, or for example, with a particular thing that you love, we tend to make decisions that make it hard. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that tends to be maybe also the nature of man, though, being inquisitive, being curious, trying things, and you know what I'm saying? But I feel like there's some of us out there who make conscious decisions from the very beginning, or at least near the beginning, to say, I want my life to be like this. I want to experience this. And this is the most intelligent way for me to improve my chances of experiencing this. And they do it. And they tend to get it. Do you get what I'm saying? So I feel like it can be. But I feel like, of course, depending on the factors around us, the things we experience, how we're raised, how we see the world, the learning we have to do, the unlearning we have to do, it can be made harder. Significantly harder. But yeah, it can be, I believe.
Cool.
I think Easy Bambino said most things worth having don't come easy, but just need someone worth making the journey with. And I 100% agree with that, because, yeah,
I do believe that you have to work towards it being easy. I think anything that starts any relationship, doesn't matter if it is that it's romantic or not, is a stranger, and a lot is hidden from you until it's not. And the more that's revealed, the more that you have to decide whether you want to stay or leave, fight for it or give up. So I keep saying every single day you wake up, you have to choose to love. You have to choose to work towards love. So it can be easy, but you have to work towards that particular outcome. That's what I believe anyway.
What do you think about there being a correlation between how much you're willing to give yourself to love? Because sometimes it's like, I want to find love, I want to do this. But then you're somewhat hesitant. You're guarded. You're this. I have to make sure of this. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, there's risks at just throwing yourself in, right? And even, I'm looking at the comments there and I see Dwayne saying, I always find it weird when people say I love hard. What does that even mean? Like, I feel like somebody who maybe is in that position, don't get me wrong, I am being quite absolute here, and I shouldn't be. But when you give yourself, of course, it has to be coupled with intelligence, right? But when you give yourself to it, when you're willing to jump off the cliff for it, I feel like you're more likely to find it.
But then I'm someone who loves hard though, and I say I love without caution. So there's no intelligence. Do you get what I mean? Like if I'm such an emotional person. It's weird because you wouldn't think that I am based on how do you know what I mean? But the reason why I'm the way I am is because I know the other side of me. Does that make sense? So when I'm in that space, nothing else makes sense. Do you get what I mean? And if if this is what I've committed to, I'm committing regardless. Do you know what I mean? And there's no, you know when things are bad or you know when you should leave, but because I've made a commitment, it's like I'm going the distance.
Isn't that almost by definition what love is though as well?
Yeah, but I don't think it's I don't think I've found a healthy balance.
Okay.
If you get what I mean. That's just me personally though.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Loving without caution isn't intelligence?
I don't think so.
Why? Because it's a complete, like, abandon? Is that what you're saying? You're just throwing yourself into it without...
Yeah, you're just not cautious. You're just
risk analysis?
Yeah. Literally.
All right. How about you, man? You think that's a sign of lacking intelligence?
I mean...
I'm only speaking for myself, by the way.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. If my dear, if you love without caution and you think it's intelligent, by all means, don't. I'm not speaking for anybody but myself.
No.
I think you definitely have to have a level of intelligence because in a lot of cases, your life is on the line. You know what I mean? Like, even if that's like loving a particular passion of yours, you could put everything on the line. You know what I'm saying? So you have to have a certain level of intelligence. But I feel like you have to also be like, cool, I've made the calculations and it still looks like it's against me, but I'm okay with the risks because I feel like the reward is worth it. But there's still a level of intelligence, you know what I'm saying? Like you're saying, Ben, there's still risk analysis at some point in your decision. But if you're just going out there just thinking like, oh yeah, you know, it's a brilliant day to fall in love, let me just jump off any cliff I see, then, you know what I mean, you're bound to hit some rocks, you know? So, yeah.
So I do agree that surrendering is very important.
Sorry, this is so funny, but it's when I say it's fact. Black Web said, love without caution and favouring bad boys equals dangerous concoction.
For real.
If I speak. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, that I can question the level of intelligence, decision making, if that's the formula. I mean, if that's the sum. Definitely. Yeah, a level of surrender. I think it's important. I think that's the question you asked me, right? How much is giving yourself to love like important when you're being serious? But obviously, everybody is guarded. Well, a lot of people are guarded, and a lot of people are scarred. A lot of people are broken.
Yep.
So, I guess that comes with its own risks. Sorry. But I truly believe it's important to surrender. I truly believe once you've ascertained that person is safe and secure enough to handle that,
enough, yeah.
And 100%, that's vital. Absolutely vital. Otherwise, what's the mother effing point?
What's the point, man? What's the point? And obviously, it's easier said than done, isn't it? But I think that's the crux of it, man.
100%. Let me see if there's anything else.
If I could be, I tell you this for free, yeah. If I could be the complete opposite to how I am, I'd do it. Like 1,000%.
Have you never...
I'd pay for it, even tomorrow,
so
literally.
you don't even know how to cosplay? You don't know how to fake it?
Fake what?
you said that if you can be the opposite to how you are, do you even know how to act that way?
Yeah, probably. But it's an act, innit? I know how I feel deep down inside.
But you act all the time anyway. Mm-hmm. So you are good at acting. So why don't you?
Because it's still an emotion that I feel.
Yes.
I can't get rid of the emotion.
Oh, 100%. But you can.
I don't want to feel the emotion is what I'm saying. I don't want the emotion.
Of what? What's the emotion?
I don't want that strong, intense emotion
Of what?
At what stage though?
of love. Like, I don't want it.
But what stage are you talking about though?
I don't. Like, I'd rather not. Like, if I'm
Qualify,
honest.
at what stage are you talking about?
Oh, like, obviously, if I'm later on in life, maybe.
All right, cool.
At one point, maybe later on in life. But I just feel like
You're saying it compromises you too much.
I'd rather just not have emotions, if I'm honest with you. I've actually Googled how to be emotionless. Like, I'd rather be numb. I swear to you. Not legit. If I could be a numb human being, I think I'd be better off.
Why don't you stop making bad choices? Why don't you stop making bad choices instead of you saying, "Let me remove emotions completely"?
I just because maybe I don't think I'm capable of not making bad choices.
But you're there Googling. Instead of you Googling how to stop making bad choices, you're Googling how to remove emotions.
No. I don't even think it's that. I think it's too deep ingrained in me. There's way too much trauma. It's long. So the easiest way is just to
sever.
Yeah, for me. That's where I'm at. Literally. Yeah.
It's so crazy amount of words that come out of your mouth that
Why?
sound like this.
Why?
Because it's like this year, the next year.
Do you know what it is? I don't think nobody has sat in my shoes. Nobody's experienced what I've experienced. Nobody can tell, like, do you get what I mean? Because I know what I've experienced and how deep it is for me. I'm trying not to get emotional, but don't do that. I'm done. I'm not talking anymore.
I get what you're saying though, but you know.
No, don't touch me.
But you know what the thing is though,
Don't
Gina.
touch me. You're gonna make it worse. I'm fine.
Do you know the thing is? I obviously it's easier said than done, innit? But I feel like because you feel like it's not the best of situations, right? I don't know. In my head, I keep thinking the differential between how you see it to what it could be so huge that you could be just so happy. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously I may be thinking idealistically, but I literally feel like that's the case. Otherwise, what really is the point?
No, sorry. I'm sorry. Bodge is so funny. He said, Gina looks like she goes through that Nollywood heartbreak.
What is the Nollywood heartbreak?
It's dramatic. It's so dramatic. But you know what? It is, you know. Do you know what it is? I've just experienced, from a young age, I experienced a lot of heaviness that I was too young to experience. Do you get what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I didn't know how to deal with it because I was so young. But it's like, it's just, do you know what I mean? And then prior to that, that's me in my like personal like dealings with men. But that aside, my upbringing, my household, do you see what I mean? So it's like, I don't know anything different.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
So you have no healthy examples to
I don't.
Friends? Because you
now.
spoke on the show. Yeah, exactly.
No, I do now, but can I be honest with you? It's too late. Like,
it's not too late.
It is for me. I don't look at you and think, okay,
I
don't care.
Okay, I get you.
Do you get what I mean? Like, it's past that point of positive influence, if you get what I mean. For me, I know why I'm saying that. Like, I don't look at anybody of my friends and think, I want that. I couldn't care less. And this isn't in a bad way to them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just.
I get you.
Do you see what I mean? Yeah, but can we just change? I'm even annoyed that we're even having this conversation because I'm like, Gina, you're talking too much.
To blame Dwayne.
Yeah, so.
All right, so based on who we are, we might not be able to get what we want, yes. Unless it is that you want to tell him, Emmanuel, that you can get anything, talk to the universe and it will come.
Say the thing you said before that, please.
Do we have to humble ourselves to a degree? Because based on who we are, we might not be able to get what we want. Are you going to say anything's possible?
I'm not gonna say anything's possible, although I do believe anything is possible. To be fair, but I feel like humbling is maybe not the best word because it kind of implies settling and getting something that's crappier than what you really want.
Wait a minute. So you don't believe in that, right? You would never tell anybody that, right?
What to
Settle.
No, I would. I would tell. No. To be fair. This guy, is a terrorist. I wouldn't say. Oh, how do I frame this, man? Some people, and I feel like some situations, right? We have to be realistic about certain things, and a lot of the time, when I say that, I am typically referring to natural things, stuff that is almost like the way of the universe, right? But when it comes to like things that are within your potential to change, and you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't tell you to settle. I wouldn't. I feel like most times, for men anyway, like it's typically an issue of confidence. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if a man has confidence, there's really no stopping you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like to be fair, it's men and women. I feel like it's a human thing because a lot of the time people don't perform to the best of their ability because they think of the what if I fails, even if they go ahead of it. So, for example, if you're trying to do a PB right now and you're thinking, oh, everyone's watching me, and some of your energy is going into how you're going to deal with the fact that you fail, then that energy is misplaced. You could put that energy into actually channeling the rest of the energy and actually lifting the weight.
No, but that's interesting because I think I'm the opposite. If there's an audience, it's even Vim, and because I'm not competitive, but I get you. Yeah, so that's even more reason for me to do it.
Yeah, I guess that's because you've made the decision inside to turn that into something.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Some people are not in that position where they feel like they can actually harness that energy and manipulate it for their benefit. You know what I'm saying? Some people just will come under the pressure. You know what I'm saying? And so it'll be a problem for them. But yeah, man, someone like Dwayne, to be fair, I wouldn't tell him to humble himself.
Because he's 23.
He's young, man. You got the whole world in front of you. You seem like an intelligent guy as well. You got a lot to offer the world. So why are you humbling yourself? Go for what you want, man. Go for what you want. And then ask yourself at certain junctures, like, does what I want, am I ready for what I want? If I was what I wanted, would I want me? You know what I'm saying? Because you need to be up to par as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you're doing that person a disservice. And you really want to do them a disservice. And I feel like along that journey as well, you become a much better person and your confidence will skyrocket as well. And you find yourself getting those things a lot more regularly than you think. That's what I think.
Is it a sign that when I keep approaching black women and I get tons of numbers and more chance of yes when I go outside my race?
Say that again?
I don't get it.
Is it a
That's
sign
what I didn't get.
That when I keep approaching black women and I get tons of numbers and more chance of yes when I go outside my race? So I'm guessing he's saying, is it a sign that I'm getting more play with people outside my race than with the black women?
No, it's not a sign at all.
All right.
Not at all.
That's not a sign, so don't listen to it.
No.
Is it a sign that a black woman who wants a black man doesn't get approached often by them, so it leaves her single?
Is it a sign?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't know if that's Dwayne, just expand on that, please. Expand on that a little. Thank you very much. And whilst you're expanding, I'm going to read a couple Spotify comments. Great app. Race loyal discussion too interesting. Great to have the conversation. Space. Bless up. Black love every time. That's Heather. Shout out Heather.
Big up.
She is a shareholder in TMB. She's the same young lady we talk about sometimes. That sends me all this information about black stuff that's happening around the way and whatnot. Dope. She supports, I guess, all of the live shows and events that the people in the podcast space do. She goes to your events too, Gina. Yeah, she's always seen there. Yeah,
big up, Heather.
This time next week, K Dots fans. This is by Zero Remorse. This time next week, this was funny. Maybe this is Dwayne.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning, Black Rob here. How you doing?
How are you? We're blessed and highly favored. How are you?
Same. I want to contribute to a couple of discussions. Dwayne one. I've been following the Dwayne saga for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the earlier messages you talked about how you guys are all these basketball friends. And so I'm gonna speculate a little bit. He's got all these basketball friends that get all the girls, and then he seems to not be able to get some of the black girls. So I'm gonna suspect that these basketball guys probably get like the quote unquote Insta baddies or like the image gang, those type of long eyelashes, long nails, whatever. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Like there's certain type of girls that, and if you're like the, huh?
No, so Dwayne's elaborated, by the way.
Okay, what did you say?
He said, I meant to say, is it a sign that if a black woman wants a black man and black men have caused her trauma or black men don't approach her, God is telling her potentially the grass is greener on the other side?
I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. So. Maybe. I don't think so. I think you have to move with intention. So I'm not for, do you know what I'm not for? I'm not for, I had one or two bad experiences with people from my race, so therefore I'm going to go the other way. Because that's like, if a white person said, I had a bad experience with a black person, so I don't hang around black people, you're calling racist, isn't it? But when we do that with our dating experiences, people kind of give them a blight. So I'm like, so you got into a couple bad relationships with black men, so therefore black men are a write-off. Or maybe you're going after the same type of person. At least that's the thing with Gina. At least you're quite self-aware. You're going, okay, these are the type of guys I go, I know what's going on, blah, blah. But there's a lot of people that don't have that self-awareness. They're going, I'm dating all these guys and I'm getting messed around all the time. And then you line them up and they all look different, but they're all the same type of person.
Yeah.
So then it's like, if Dwayne, like I go back to Dwayne, if Dwayne's basketball friends are going for a certain type of girl, I'm assuming maybe these girls are quite like, I don't know, image gang, whatever. Why doesn't he go for like different type of girls? There's black gamer chicks, there's the earthy chicks, there's the neo soul people, there's different types of people. There's and we're not, as you said, we're not a monolith. So if you're going for this, kind of like what Iman said, if you're going for a girl, the type of girls that don't go for you, you're always gonna be like, you're just gonna feel like a reject. There's a proverb, if a fish marks his intelligence, but how well it can climb a tree, I always think it's dumb. But in reality, you should be swimming. So it's like, there's I got a friend that's kind of like, he's quite quirky. He's a bit like Childish Gambino. He's an interesting guy, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he's quite self-aware. The type of girls he goes for are all kind of like, a bit like, he's a kind of geeky, nerdy, like anime, whatever. But not like everyone likes anime now, but he's a different type of guy. And like man plays with swords, like katana swords, and all that type of stuff. Yeah. But he's fine. And he's black, and he only dates exclusively black girls. But he knows he knows his market.
Yeah. He
knows where he succeeds. He knows his market, and he always finds similar type of girls that are like him, but they're still black. So I think it's all about knowing your market and knowing what, because if all black guys that are all different walks of life are all trying to chase after that certain type of girl, that certain type of girl, they're all gonna get rejected because they all want I said, the NBA player, or they all want the free shot guys. So like and then there's always that saying that like that whole thing of like, because of like dating apps now, you can actually track the how people date, and you know that and women are way more strict in in what they want than men. Men are a bit more like, okay, yeah, she looks good enough, let me see. But girls are, so a lot of girls their attractiveness is a bit more stringent than men. So if you're putting yourself in environments where you're in front of them face to face, then you're more likely to be able to break that barrier and get your personality across than just, I don't know. Especially and also don't go out with all them basketball players. Maybe you can, because they might look at them first, innit? But I don't know. And then and then with the Gina thing. So Gina, I'm not gonna go back to that because I know we spoke about, but like I've got some female friends that I find some certain situations where I find that a lot of times with their career, they're proper like, yeah, I'm on it. Next stage, next like the progression in their careers and stuff like that, they're on it. But I'm like, and I go to them, what's your love life saying? He's like, been through this, been through that. I'm not on it. I'm just gonna let it be what it be, whatever. Kind of like same kind of talking points to Gina. And I was like, why don't you? It's like if you put the same vigor into progressing in that as the other one, then you might reap the same results. But they take their career in their hands, and then they go to the stars with it because they feel that maybe there's a thing of they feel that they have more control over it. And maybe they do to some extent. If you want to get promotion, you know what to do. But when love life, there's a bit more variables in play. But the things that you can do, you should do. And I don't know that I just don't. It's like I know you don't want no sympathy. It's like it sounds defeatist a lot of times. And I know that you're whatever you put your mind to, you smash it. Look at the all the stuff that you're doing, and you went from what you said. You went from doing security guards or something to look at all that stuff. So you know you got the mindset to do. Was it? Is that what you said, or is it bus driver? I don't know. What did you say? You used to do something, and now you're doing your.
You're so
Just looking at you and thinking,
Was I wrong?
You are so far from the truth. But you know what? I'm gonna let you cook. So
Oh, my bad. Sorry, but I know you spoke about like before you were doing.
I was a probation officer. Don't worry, because
probation officer. I was close. Come on, man.
Security guard and probation officer are not close. Or bus driver. Are you alright?
The first one was closer, but okay. Give me
a security guard.
Probation officer.
What's it called? The SAS badge? Is that what they have?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Anyway, it is well.
Anywho, you're killing it in our sect. You got the ability to kill it in others, and don't be defeatist. But yeah, that's me.
Rob.
Do you know what it is? It's not about being defeatist. I just don't care enough. It's fine. Like, and this is what I said. I don't want sympathy. I don't want anyone to feel sorry for me because it's not even that. And yes, I'm a career-driven person because my career is something that's more within my control. When it comes to dating, you're dealing with other people, and I can't. And you know what? I don't want to focus on something that's not really within my control. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, innit? I'm not bothered. Like, trust me, it's fine. So,
do you want me to get to my conspiracy bag as well? Do you know JP Morgan? There's an article about JP Morgan said they're gonna invest way more money in wine and cat food over the next couple of years.
Oh, for women who are single and...
You said it, I didn't. Okay.
What did he say? No, I get where you're going. But you know what? Fernand said something here, and it's true. Not everybody's going to find like conventional love. Not everyone's going to find love in the same way. Not everybody is meant to even be with a person. Like, not everyone's meant to get married. Do you know what I mean? So it's like...
Yeah, 100%.
I think what everyone needs to understand about me is growing up here, it was hammered into my head from a young age that success for me as a woman was to be married and have kids. Yeah. That's all I believed growing up. And because of that, I made a lot of bad decisions holding on to that based on my environment, how I was raised, what I was taught, blah, blah, blah. So for me to break the cycle is even refreshing in itself. Do you know what I mean? Like for me for my mindset to be what it was before to where it is now, that in itself is progress. So
it sounds like a pendulum swing. Maybe you were so ingrained in that one. Then do you know when the pendulum swings all the way to the other end?
You know what?
So,
The thing is, I don't have a middle ground though. I'm one extreme or the other. I don't have balance.
Fair enough.
Like you said, I'm a very self-aware person. So
true.
Guys, don't take paracetamol for my headache. I beg. It's not even worth it. It's fine. Like, trust me, you lot are good. It's okay.
It is well.
It's all right, man. Don't worry yourself.
Black Rob, what type of black girls do you like?
I like. What do you mean, like looks wise or what?
Well, you said that there are.
Okay. I like. I like quite chilled. Like my missus she's not really a social media person. She doesn't like people that don't like attention.
All right, so that's it.
Oh, personality-wise, yeah. Okay, well, people that don't like attention, well, preferably West African, but I've actually dated I've dated Caribbean girls.
Races?
Huh?
Dated different races?
Yeah, no, I've not. I'm one of those ones that Christy will flog, because in university I was
Dipper.
I was at the buffet table, but now I'm but you know that's what uni's for, innit? But then obviously I always knew I was gonna marry black, and you know everyone hates me now, innit? But
Yeah. Fair enough.
but yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for your insights.
All right, just right.
Bye.
Later.
Heather, I think Heather, for the first time, she's in the live chat. What do you do? What do you do, baby? Much love. All right, cool. We can get into the headlines. No?
Yep.
Yeah, let's get into our headlines.
All right, people. Did you hear about Boris Johnson, the former Prime Minister? He was turned away from a polling station when trying to vote in his local elections after forgetting to bring photo ID.
I'm going to try the cheeky one.
You know what I mean? This is what happens when you don't listen to TDA, man. Who's telling you?
Yeah, hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, grand rising to everyone, yeah? I'm calling in regards to this topic that's been going on for the past, couple days, right?
Mm.
And, I find it... So I don't know if you lot remember someone calling a couple months back in regards to, dating a girl outside their race. And, bare people have called up for that. But anywho... My thing is, yeah, I know I can't tar everyone with the same brush, but I feel like people need to just go where the love is, because within the black race, I feel like you got a couple Uncle Ruckuses where they can be black, but they're not for the black cause, so it doesn't really matter. And like Mark said, in times where there was civil rights movements and all of this, you had white people fighting for the rights of black people, innit? So it's not even about the skin, it's about the content of their heart and their intentions, right? And understandably, you'd want to be with a black person because they understand your struggle. But if you take that away, just the fact that we can relate on the struggle, if you take that away, if the content of the person's heart is good, then what's the problem? And the reason why I say this, yeah, is because recently, I was speaking to this girl, yeah, right? Met her online and whatnot. She asked me, what's my type? And I said, I ain't even got one. And she was like, really? And she was kind of taken back the same way Christy was taken back yesterday, right? Because remember, Christy said if I met someone and they've dabbled in a different, dabbled in a different race, it's questionable for her. This girl said the same thing. So when Chrissy said it, was kind of triggering. I was like, oh yeah, cool. I've been there before. Cool. Bearing in mind, this girl's if you're black and you indulge in other races, it's kind of worrying and da 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 da. In my head, I'm thinking, all right, each to their own, but you've got straight hair. We're doing black power this, but it's all when it's convenient. Because why don't you embrace your black curly hair instead of slicking it back and putting on straight ponytail? That's not how our people's hair grows unless you're mixed with something, right? So it's my thing. It's annoying to hear this conversation when people say, "Oh, you should stick with your race," da 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 da, but then you conform to other beauty standards. If I love black women, I want to love black women for who they are, not because they now have a straight wig. Because that don't make no sense. That isn't natural. You hardly see, cool, you have your anomalies, right? But you would hardly see a white person walking around with an afro. Yeah, back in the civil rights when afros were popping, Michael Jackson time, you might see a white lady with an afro, yeah? But if you look at her husband, probably a black man, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm talking to this girl and this girl's telling me that I'm outrageous because I like every race, me, I've tasted every flavor in the rainbow, you get me? There's not one race I haven't indulged in. And then you're gonna tell me that I'm less of a black man because I've indulged in other races, but I have. It doesn't matter what hairstyle I got, but my thing is,
Now, let us know. Let us know. Give us some context.
now I got locks in it. I got locks, but it's I don't want to come across stereotypical because oh yeah, you're black, you must have locks. It's not that. I'm not trying to go down that route. I'm just saying, if I came in, let's say I came into the studio tomorrow and my hair was straight like Cat Williams, you'll be looking at me like, what going for my man? Like, why is his hair straight? But then women can straighten their hair and talk about black this, black that. Like, I hear it, but the same way you wanna devalue my word because I've dealt with other races, the same way I can devalue your word because you don't even embrace what like not what makes you black, because there's more than what makes you black than your hair, but a big key factor about what makes you black is the texture of your hair. Not the only factor before anyone jumps down my throat and twists my words, yeah. But you can identify someone by the texture of their hair, and then you want to come straighten it or perm it or relax it, do all these things to change the curl pattern. Like that's just one thing. That's just one thing. I don't want to hold up the line, but I just had to get that off my chest because every time I try to call, I've called after you've lot streamed because I woke up too late, but I caught you today and I had to get off my chest.
Not stay for a while.
Yeah,
Stay for a while.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
we're
cool.
bringing on help.
What, you getting Christy? I don't want Christy to come bite off my head now, you know.
No, she doesn't know how to use Discord like that. It's all right. Black Rob, you can speak now. Yeah, you have to unmute your mic.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yep,
We can hear you. Rob? A friend?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, we can.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can hear you.
See, this is why I don't use Discord.
Mike, I think there's a couple. The hair thing, I don't know if it's. Huh? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So. Sorry, there's a delay. That's why I didn't think it was working. All right, cool. So, Mike.
This ain't working.
This ain't working.
This ain't working for me. I'll cut you off.
Discord, there's a delay, so I didn't know it was running. Okay, so.
Who's calling in the background?
Christy, obviously.
I think when it comes to dating or marrying, bro, I can't.
Yeah.
This thing is weird. It's like I've got a 10-second delay. I'm hearing myself like 10 seconds later. Let me call back.
Can I also say one more thing though?
You can say whatever you want, bro.
So look, yeah, I know like one can say, because see me, I'm very level-headed. I like to look at arguments from different points of view, innit? And I like to think like and try to understand why someone. Huh?
Can't self-diagnose. We have to tell you if it is that you're level-headed.
Well, yeah, okay, cool. I mean, I can have my own perception and view myself. But anyway, what I wanted to say, yeah, is like, you see, I don't want anyone to say like it's not that deep what hairstyle a black girl wears because of oppression and all of this and all of that. And because I hear it. You've been oppressed in the past, and you're made to feel like you're more beautiful if your hair's straight and whatnot. I understand that. That's generational, and the effects of it has happened, like, right? But what I don't like is to continue to live in that if we're trying to move on. We're trying to move on. We need to let some things go. I can't lie, because let a white girl come in with braids or singles or anything, and we're telling them that, rah, you're trying to act white. No, you're trying to act black. Sorry, but then we don't hold ourselves to the same standard. And to be fair, sometimes I just feel like natural beauty is the best beauty, you know? Natural beauty is the best beauty.
Can I ask you a question?
I don't like surprises. Yeah, go on.
You said obviously, like, you know, in a roundabout way, obviously, like, we need to move forward in a different light, and we can't be. Why are we straightening our hair and this and the third? Are you deflecting? Because how do we move forward? And I'm kind of using this. I'm trying to use anyway. So you may have to correct me. How can we use that standard of moving forward, trying to be ourselves? If, for example, you are dating and maybe wanting to have kids and marry and all that stuff with somebody who's not from the culture, or are you were you only referring to your past?
No, I'm referring to, because I'm tired. Look, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of talking about this moving forward to embed. Okay, cool. Sticking with your culture is beneficial. Is beneficial to improving. I mean, it depends on what your goal is, to be honest. I can't even say, but it is. I can see why it's beneficial sticking with your partner because of the culture, right? But like I said, if the person you're dealing with has a good heart, yeah, they won't have an issue adapting to your culture. And if you got a good heart, remember, relationships about give and take, you know, we're forgetting we don't live in a highly populated place where there's bare black people. Like, we're a minority here, so you gotta go where the love is, isn't it? Like, it's easier to find a black woman in the Caribbean or in Africa because there's a lot of black people there. Like, we're in the land of the white man, so we're in the land of a multicultural land as well. Like, I could meet someone that's from Asia, you get me? But like, just because we have different skin color and different culture don't mean that we ain't compatible.
But why does it mean that a black woman who straightens her hair isn't really black or like proud of what she is?
No, I never said she's not black.
I
just
know you didn't
need
say
to,
that, but it's like,
I'm just trying to sit in my head.
Yeah.
The same way people devalue a man's blackness. Let's say, I put my quotation fingers up. Yeah.
All right.
The same way people degrade someone's blackness because they have a different counterpart that's not that's not black yet. They look at him and think, oh, he's sold out, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah,
that's the general consensus, right?
Yeah, that happens.
But then now, if I get a black girl, because my favorite hairstyle on a black girl is either like short hair or like locks, yeah, something natural where your hair, like, you don't have to do nothing to your hair to achieve this hairstyle. But now, if I'm going to a black girl, the black girls now feel more. I'm not saying that they can't wear it, but it's like, let's be honest, a lot of black girls feel more comfortable in wigs and in hairstyles that aren't natural to them. That's the issue I'm talking about, because you're telling me to love black girls, but black girls don't even love their own hair enough to wear it all the time. They wanna have it all straight and that, as if that's natural to their genetic makeup. Do you get what I'm saying?
I hear you, but do you see what? I don't know. Like, I'm hearing you, yeah. And when you first started the conversation, I actually wanted to pose that same question that you were saying to the people, because I feel like, okay, you know, in some ways you're making a decent point, but it just feels like a parent coming into a room, seeing one of their kids doing something bad, and that kid just saying, "What about him though? He's doing something else as well." Like, why do you have to mention what black women do with their hair to justify you wanting to date white women? Why
No,
is
it's not me. No,
correlation?
No, Eman, don't do this, don't do this.
No, I'm listening to it, but this is what it sounds like.
It's not to justify me being with white women.
Okay.
It's to let people just pause,
okay,
don't speak, and just think, just think where someone else is coming from.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can understand if a white man's with a white person, if a black man's with a white person, a white girl, because of I understand that circumstances are different. They might have grown up in a different time, a different area. They might feel comfortable that way. For example, yeah, if I went to the gym, now I know this is a little bit of a different analogy, but try and understand where I'm coming from, right? If I went to the gym and I see a PT and the PT's out of shape and the PT's trying to tell me how to train, would I believe them? Would I trust that they know what they're doing? If I went to a tattoo shop and the tattoo artist has no ink on them, no tattoos, they could be a good tattoo artist, but I want someone that knows what it's like to feel the needle. Yeah. If I'm looking for a black girl, if I say I love my skin and I love everything about me, to the point where I've got locks and I've had family members telling me that I should cut my hair so I look more professional, I stood on business. I said, no way. Yeah. And I'm going to now go find a black girl that doesn't even love her own hair. Something that she can't change, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that I'm trying to justify my point so I can be with other cultures.
So you date, when it is that you date black women, you date black women who have natural hair?
Preferably.
So
I'm not going to lie. If I meet a girl and she's got a wig on, I'm scared because I don't know what could be underneath it. Like, it's like, what's going on here? Like, why are we not trying? Because see me, I'm not saying that if it's short, it's bad. If it's long, it's bad. Like, I'm not saying that.
So what are you
I'm
scared
just
of then?
saying the fact that the girl herself isn't comfortable. Because, you know, like, girls don't like insecure men and whatnot because it can down the mood and like rub off on them and whatnot. So why would I want a girl that's insecure about her own hair? Like, this is something you can't change, remember? Like, no girl wants an insecure man. So why would I want an insecure girl about her hair? Especially if I'm trying to change the narrative and appreciate everything about a black woman. A lot of it is to do with their hair and how they view themselves as well. And if I'm trying to uplift a black woman and tell her that she's beautiful every day, and then she goes slap something and covers her natural beautiful hair. Now, why is that? That ain't good, man.
You know
I
what the
can't.
thing is? Sorry to cut you. You know what the thing is, and this is why I said I was trying to see your point in like when you first started, because I feel like you're pretty much saying, who are you to judge me when you're not fully living everything to do with blackness, right?
Literally.
This is the point I get you, like you're trying to say, but it's almost as though you're saying though, like basically when you take that position, it now seems as though we're weighing up the indiscretions. Okay, so yes, the only thing about you that you don't like is your hair, or pardon me, or like you straighten your hair, this, that, and the third. But then your problem that they can point to is the fact that you're literally saying, I'm going to move to another person, like a person from a different race, settle down potentially, have kids and all of that, and saying that the implications of both of these decisions are almost the same.
Same, and they're not.
And they're not the
Okay,
same.
I can understand why you say that, because I referred to the fact that I had an interaction with a black girl that sparked this conversation in my head. Because I can't lie, if I didn't have this interaction with this girl, I probably wouldn't have called in. But it's because it hit home so much. Do you know what I mean? The fact that my blackness was questioned because I find interest in other races. When, like I said, when I called months ago and I was talking about like the girl that I was dealing with, and I was saying like, for me mentally, she's good, and I feel like that's what's most important here. That's what's most important. For everything else, like everything else could be taught if the person wants to be, if the person's interested enough. Like, there's certain people within our own culture that don't understand the culture. Like, let's be honest. So if there's people within our own culture that don't understand the culture and they can be taught, someone that loves you, like, and I'm being so serious now, someone that loves you will do everything in their power to try to understand. Yeah. They may not be able to feel it because they haven't gone through it, but they will try their hardest. And God loves a trier, no? And in this day and age, when people... Yeah, we're not God, but you see, like...
I'm joking, I'm just being a troll. Don't take me
in this day and age where a lot of people's psyche is under a lot of heat right now, like we're all trying to stay sane in a world where anything can happen like that. Like Putin could just be like, you know what, fuck it. Kim Jong-un could just be like, you know what, fuck it. Let's just blow up the whole world. And we're worrying about who a man lays down with, not even questioning about if that woman is good for him.
But you know,
good for him, you know?
The problem is though, when you've come out and pretty much said to people, but we need to look at your blackness because of how you wear your hair, and then say, well, why are you judging me because of who I lay down with and who I have a family with and this, that, and the third. You have to understand, like a black woman, because it's been happening since the beginning of time, can straighten her hair and have a black family. But if you're having kids and marrying white women, how do you talk about
but
being
Eman,
pro-black or
Eman,
in any way
I would
if you don't have
never.
a black family?
I'm not. I would have never mentioned the fact that she's wearing like
Yeah.
false straight hair, yeah, if she didn't question my blackness. Because I'm not out here trying to degrade black women because they wear a straight hair. That's not my angle. That's not what I'm trying to do.
Let's pretend that the person who spoke to you and questioned your blackness was a natural black babe. Let's pretend that was the case. Let's focus on that conversation. So she's asked you the question.
Then she would have got me there.
All right, cool.
She would have got me there.
That's where we want to have you. That's where we want to have the discussion. We don't want you to bring in things outside of that because it sounds as though you're deflecting.
Literally.
No, it's not deflecting.
No,
it's not. You know what's not fair? No, but it can sound like. No, it can sound like. But it can sound like. But it's not. So one can sound like, but it's not. If she was like a black girl, natural hair, you know, cool. I'll be sitting on my hands like, oh boy, you got me. But there's no way, because it hurt. It hurt because they don't know my heart. They don't know how much like it made me wanna do some mad things the day when I heard that 14-year-old boy got stabbed by the white man. Like it made me want to do some mad shit. Like, and I know retaliation isn't the best thing, but to have someone question how much I love black people because of what I'm attracted to. You don't know what's going on in my life. You don't know how certain people have treated me. You don't know my circumstances. And at the beginning of the conversation, when I said I'm level-headed and I can understand why people do certain things, I feel like people should have that same grace. For when people see other people mixing, you don't know. No one knows. I'm sure people will that marry outside of their race or indulge outside of their race know in the back of their mind that I'm gonna get some sticks for this, whether it's an Asian man with a white man. Because you know the Asian man, if an Asian man gets with a white man, they're gonna be looking at him like, raw, like what are you doing? Same way if it's with a black woman, like, but if you rate that person and you love that person enough, bruv, do what you wanna do, bruv. I'm not telling no one because I'm not deflecting, but at the same time, people got to practice what they preach. You got to practice what you preach.
All right. So
I'm not taking.
I hear you. And I do believe that there are two different conversations at in front of us right now. The first one is what I can entertain. If this particular natural black babe came to you and asked you this particular question, you didn't have any ammo to basically gun her. You looked at her hair, you couldn't go for the hair, right? So when you're responding to that question, that's the conversation I can entertain. And that's where you're saying, go where the love is, right? My environment states that I don't have these particular women that I'm attracted to around me, and I just fell in love with this particular person. And her qualities and the characteristics, they all complement mine, and we are what we are, right? When is it you start talking about the hair thing, that's when it is I have to start questioning.
Because I don't think people don't like it when people have a comeback. I'm not just going to be told that I'm less of a black man because I like other races. That's ridiculous. Because then the same way I find that ridiculous.
What's your name?
Raheem.
All right, Raheem. Let's just get back to the first instance. Let's not move on to the second one. Let's not move. Let's move on to where you don't have a comeback because she doesn't have straight hair. Do you understand? Let's have that discussion where that is the scenario.
Even if I didn't have a comeback, what she's saying isn't true. Okay, let's say she did have her natural hair. in my head, her telling me that I'm less of a black man, it would still hurt because it's like, you don't know me.
All right. I can entertain this conversation with you. This is what I'm saying. I can talk about this with you. When you start disparaging black women, I'm like,
No, Brent, stop. I'm not disparaging black women. Imagine someone that's bleaching is telling me that I'm less of a black person.
it's a separate scenario.
Could you have Vibes Cartel come into the studio and tell you you're less of a black person? These times,
you're asking me
my man looks light skinned.
Question. I can have
the
that
reason why I
separate
say that
conversation after the first conversation.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying you're deflecting.
I'm not because Brent, you're trying to tell me
No, I don't want to go on to the second thing. I want to focus on you saying love is love. Do you understand?
Because it is.
I want you to say, I want you to make arguments opposing what she's saying that you're less of a black man for being with this white woman. I want to hear what you say in response to that. I want to hear argument.
The reason why is because, like I said before, circumstances, environment, right? I could have grown up in a particular place. I'm from Lewisham, yeah. I could have grown up in Dartford or in Kent or Essex, where it's less cultural, right? And I feel more comfortable in a particular culture. That could have been the circumstance. Now, regardless of what I indulge in, let someone else see me. They're going to see black. They're not going to see, oi, he's a chavvy black guy. They're going to see he's black, right? So I'm no less of a black man just because, like, E-Man doesn't eat meat. He's a vegan. When he goes and he's eating his food, just because he's not digging into suya, is he less African? Nah, because it's not about what he eats that makes him black. So it's who he is, what he stands for, what his heart is, what his brain is, how he views certain things. Like, we need to stop. Just because I may like you said though, if she did have natural hair, I wouldn't be able to have a comeback, but I would still be burning inside because I'll be thinking this girl doesn't even know what I like. She doesn't even know. She's just assuming. The same way I'm just assuming about her, like, not wearing her own hair. The same way she's assuming about me not loving black people because I indulge in other races. Everyone's just outside assuming.
All right,
and that's not right.
So obviously, you know, Mags, he goes all over the place, right? He's a bit like you, yeah?
Shout out to Mags, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And he doesn't protest as much as you're protesting, right?
The reason why I got to protest, I got to because I don't want to, how do I word it? I don't want to be misunderstood. That's the worst thing. I'd rather be understood and come across a little bit, forward than keep my mouth shut and not be understood and then come off the phone thinking, bro, I wish I could have said this. I want to be understood fully.
Yeah.
So if it feels like I'm banging for the cause a bit hard, then it's just like, well, because it matters to me. It does matter to me.
Yeah, I can hear that it offends you and it hurts you each time it is that your blackness is questioned. I can hear it in your voice. You get angry because you want to be seen as a black man and you also want to be dating white women. No, but it's true.
Nah,
right?
Brent, you're a joke, man.
Wait.
Brent.
Did I misunderstand you?
You just saying, don't judge me by my dating preferences.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. And you do judge people by their dating preferences.
Because think of it. Okay, can I give you a scenario?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we've got two people, right? No, let's say we've got the same person, and his history with dating black women, as much as we don't like it, as much as we don't like this narrative, let's say it was struggle love, yeah? I'm not like, disclaimer, black love isn't struggle love, but let's say it was, right? And then, for whatever particular reason, let's say what I'm not even gonna get into it, but he just wasn't happy, right? Does he need to stay there because she's black?
No.
All right then. So then now let's say he leaves her and then he finds someone else and she's not white. Let's not give her a particular race. She's just not black, because I'm not saying I want to be with a white girl. I would be with any race, literally. It's just because I ain't boxed a Hawaiian thing yet. But let's say they're not black here, and this girl is, how can I word it? This girl is literally the oil to his candle, to his oil lamp, like the fuel to his car engine, like the solar rays to his solar panel.
Bro, we
like
heard
she,
you the first time.
no,
This
because I've
white
got to
girl
drive it
must be
home.
special, boy.
Oh, Brent, you're annoying. You're annoying.
I want to
But
meet him, man.
No, because what I'm saying is, like, bro, I've met a lot of people along the road. It's not just my circumstances I'm looking at. I'm looking at other people's. Like, there's this saying, yeah, a smart man learns from his mistakes and a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. So what I like to do is look at other people's lives. I've got an uncle, right? I've got an uncle that has 12 kids. He's populated 3 different countries, right? That's not a life I want to live. Yeah, I've looked at that and I've seen, like, cool, that's what I'm gonna learn from. Even though that's separate from what we're talking about, the reason why I say that is because just because people are in black relationships doesn't mean that that's the best thing for them in particular. It could be the best thing for someone else, but that might just mean that someone else's circumstance is different. But this particular person, because not everyone's the same, innit?
You know,
Not everyone's the same.
It's what's annoying is the fact that because you said it, you can't take it back, right? And people are just gonna hang on to that. The way you pretty much opened up this phone call, innit? And they're gonna keep remembering.
Bro, I'll double down on it, man.
No, but it don't help the conversation, innit? Because I understand your point. Your point is basically just saying, like, why does your blackness have to be tied necessarily to your dating preferences, right? So you know what I'm saying? And I think that's a topic of the day in itself, isn't it? But when you
But is that not valid though?
I mean, I don't necessarily agree. You know what I'm saying? But I understand why.
Cool.
So, you know what I'm saying? But I understand why you're asking that question. I don't look at you in a bad way because of it. You know what I'm saying? But when you then add on the thing about black women and their hair and this, that, and the third, it just makes the conversation less productive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I feel like people are just choosing what they want to hear, you know? Because I even gave you the analogy of you not eating of you not eating
meat,
proper like meat.
Yeah.
The way like your culture like says that you should eat it, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't make you less Yoruba.
Yeah.
I'm Jamaican, yeah? I'm Jamaican. There was a point in time when I didn't like rice and peas like that. Am I less Jamaican?
But yeah, of course. But it's just that the examples are that there's less implications though, isn't it? On one's blackness and what blackness means in the world. You know what I'm saying? Because the reality is, yeah, if I want to be obviously a bit detailed with it, we know that like there's plenty of vegans in Africa. Like veganism wasn't learned from white people. There's African cultures who are vegan. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we can't use that necessarily. Convenient.
Convenient.
It's true though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's true. So we
the reason why I say it's convenience because the same way is like, remember the other day when we want to pick and choose when a black man's a black man? I think Marx was saying like when we look at Bob Marley, he's a black man, and then we try to tear him down because he's slept with white people and whatnot. The same with Martin Luther King. It's like whatever the white person, like when they were doing up slavery and they were doing up conquering black families and the black culture, whatever they done at that time, that shit is still going on to this day. And we need to break the stronghold because I feel like we look dumb looking at other people talking about they're less black. These times you can see the melanin because it's jam-packed, yeah? It's been jam-packed. And you're going to tell me I'm less of a black person because I love who I love. These times you're telling me, especially, and love is not even something that you choose. Like,
you know, Raheem, yeah? Or like, what I'm going to do is next week, yeah? Hopefully you can call up as well, yeah? But I want us to have a topic of the day based on what you're saying. And hopefully, like, no deflecting, no disparaging nobody else, just solely on the topic of, is your blackness eroded in some capacity if you date other races? Just keep it like that. You know what I'm saying?
That's the question. That's the question,
yes,
yeah?
that's what we're going to do. So that way we can look at what people see as black, you know what I'm saying? And the implications of those decisions. Because I think that's where this pretty much goes.
But what? Okay. Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
I like I said, I'm Jamaican, but I'm not really a fan of bashment.
Okay.
Yeah. Am I less Jamaican?
I mean, you gotta tell me what Jamaican is, isn't it? Because I'm not Jamaican. but no.
Okay. Brent.
Yes.
Brent.
Yes.
You've got a brother, right?
I have 2.
Cool. You've got 2 brothers. Imagine if they came up to you and said, "Bruh, I'm not coming carnival because I'm not really into soca like that." Are they less Trini?
I don't go to carnival. I'm full Trini.
Exactly. So what are we doing here?
Raheem.
I don't get how they're the same.
Raheem. I get your point. I get your point where if you like white people, that doesn't change the fact that you are black. It just means that you are black and you like white people. Do you understand? If the question is that black man openly choosing to help build the black community with his decisions?
Yeah. Okay, so we're moving on to a different case.
Is not that. Do you understand? Because
does it matter if they're not?
Your child.
If they?
Go on.
What if they're not white? Because you're holding on to this white business too much. I said I like all races. Okay, let's say they're not white. Let's say they're another ethnicity, like they're Hispanic or they're, I don't know, Asian or something. Let's say come off the white thing, because I feel like white holds a lot of weight and distastefulness because of what they've done in the past. So when someone sees a black man with a white girl, you're seeing slave with the slave owner instead of seeing 2 people in love. I'm not gonna lie, that's what I think people see. And I'm not blaming them because you have every right to be honest.
Sorry.
You have every right to, but
you're making a point right now, and I hear you. Abby, are you there?
Yeah. Can you?
Please, share your thoughts.
I just want to ask why you keep essentially saying that the black of a woman is related to her. It is not. Someone choosing to wear braids, have natural hair doesn't make them less black. And you saying essentially that your hair is what makes you black, when really it is not. You saying that we don't love ourselves because we wear wigs.
Abby, is your internet connection good? Because it's like you're breaking up, you know. You're breaking up
really badly. Can you hear me now?
Yes, try that.
You're like in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to say that I just feel like you should stop using our hair and saying that we don't love hair because we choose to wear something different than what you want us to wear. What we choose to wear.
Still doing the same thing, Abby.
Are you on the Wi-Fi? Switch to like to.
But I kind of get what she's saying though. I'm trying to pick out and put it together what she's saying. I kind of figure out what she's saying. She's trying. If I'm correct, I think she's saying like I need to stop using the fact that like women, whatever women do with their hair, as a way of measuring like how their blackness, and that's fine. That is fine. But then
no, but wait, as well as that, it doesn't mean that we don't love ourselves. That's nothing to do with it at all. And constant policing
But then,
what we wear is actually very tiring on a daily basis. It's got nothing to do with it at all. And it doesn't mean we don't love ourselves. It just means that actually we want to express ourselves in different ways.
Abby, I'm
yeah, I feel like you can.
Abby, I'm so sorry, but we're only hearing 25% of what you're saying because of the connection.
Yeah,
I feel like I can make it out though.
I know we can.
What was that?
I'm gonna call back on.
Thank you. Thank you. Though.
Yo, guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Can you talk
All
properly?
right, all good.
Let's see if it is. It's clean. It's cleaner than Abby's. Go.
Yeah. Okay. So Raheem, right? I think what this is about is more about like individualism versus collectivism. So it's not. I don't think while your blackness cannot be determined by who you're with, your commitment to the progression of black people can.
Mm-hmm.
So you can date outside of the race, but what's your driving forces? Because like I heard like when you're talking earlier, you about 4 or 5 times you started with for me. So what that kind of tells me is that like, and I see this with a lot of people, it's all about like I love my black people, but I'm gonna just do what fits me, what I care about, and that's all right. But then you have to bucket people because it's important. Because if you're about the progression of black people, you can't be about yourself. You have to be about collectivism. So if you're about for me, then it's like do your thing, but then being questioned about your commitment to the movement is a valid argument. Because like, have you watched 300, the movie 300, the Spartans? The guy that snaked him was the hunchback because he was selfish and he didn't think about the group. He thought about himself. So whenever there's a movement, the weakest link is always the
wasn't
person
he
that's
treated wrong though?
Individualism.
Wasn't
You know
he
what I mean?
treated wrong? The reason why he snaked out. The
I'll use a
reason
different
why.
example. What about the guy from Black Panthers? You know, the Keith Stanfield. He had an option. He could go to jail, or he could bring down the Black Panthers. Someone that's about collectivism would have been like, rah, this doesn't benefit me, but it benefits the collective. But someone that's selfish will be like, yo, well, not I would say selfish, individualist will be like, yo, this benefits me, so fuck the group. And that's a extreme example of what this is, where it's like you can, if you want to, you can find someone like if you're from this, so you've got lots of black people around you, so you can date someone in your race if you want to. But if you want to, if you're about like I'm just on vibes, whatever, then you can date anyone, and there's nothing wrong with that because I won't judge. But when you're saying about the movement, that's when I'll be like,
All right, cool. The reason why I hear what you're saying and it makes sense, but at the same time, it's like the reason why I'm doing an individual is because how many times have we said on this podcast that we're not a monolith? And it's like, why am I? You know how many times I've like been reminded that cool, we're not all on the same page. We're not all on the same page. I've got so many examples of different cultures where they stick together, and then other than TDA, where is the example, of our community sticking together and standing on business? There isn't any because there's too much in-house conflict. So I have no example of whatever we're talking about right now. It sounds good, and hypothetically, I wish we did have that. But I'm going off my reality, and I'm going off of what I've experienced. Like, what else am I supposed to go off? Like,
so basically, what you're saying is that like we haven't got our shit together yet, so therefore I'm out. But when you get your shit together, I'll be back in. But why can't you be the example of? You know what I mean? Like that's what like I'm doing my part. Brent's trying to do his part. Like if everyone tried to do their part, then it will happen. But
and this is what I think. It's hard to have this conversation.
You know I'm doing it right now. So like I'll do my thing and then I'll come in when you sort it out.
Nah, you see, it's hard to have this conversation when people are picking and choosing what they want to hear from what I'm saying. I'm saying.
Okay, so what are you trying to say? Maybe I misunderstood.
Now, hear what I'm saying now. Look, cool. So now everyone's trying to say now, like, cool, they don't have a problem if someone's with a different person because you love who you love. But now it's the thing where benefiting the black community. Now the question is, or the statement is, your blackness will be questioned in regards of how much you rate the black community and how much you want the betterment for the black community if your partner isn't from the black community, right? That's what the argument is now.
My words
Yeah?
wisely. I said your blackness can never be determined by who you're with because it's innate. You're black. No one can take that away from you. I said your commitment to the progression of black people can be. So, and I think that's a more important discussion than a black card, because black card isn't really revocable. We make those jokes, but that's not a thing. But commitment to the movement, the progression of your people, is dictated by the things you do in your day to day. So, and one of the biggest decisions you can make is who you procreate with. And if you don't want to pick someone of your own group, then that is fine. As I said, I'm not as extreme as like some people is like, oh, I don't mess with you. But if we're talking about the progression of our people, that's where I'll be like, I don't know if that we're of the same ilk. Does that make sense? They're two different things. You're always gonna be a black man. I can
understand. Yeah, but in my you see, I don't know, because then again, so we want, so do we want allies?
You can't be an ally if you're black, man. Be with a black woman.
No. The reason why I say this, the reason why I say no, hold on.
He's trying to recruit.
No. What I'm saying is, for example, right? I'm not Muslim. I'm not from Palestine. But when I hear what's going over there, it hurts my heart.
Yeah.
Does my opinion and does how I feel, is it invalid because I'm not Muslim? Is it invalid because I'm not from Palestine? It's invalid, yeah?
No, it's not invalid.
The reason why I say that is because there's people that are not from our culture that try to understand and try to empathize, and it hurts them the fact that we go through what we go through, even though they're not black. Now, if I'm speaking to someone, for example, and I'm letting them know how I feel and they're trying to understand, like, what? Am I supposed to be like, oh yeah, cool, you're cool, but you're not black, so you would, even though they will never understand because they won't, they're not black. But if someone is trying, I feel like we need to look past it. We need to actually look. Go on.
Allies I think we're digressing a little bit. So allies are allies. So they're always going to be part of the movement because they're useful for the movement as well. What we're talking about is you as a black man dating someone. So if you have allies, I got friends that are allies, and that's useful for the movement. The same way allies to the cause in Palestine, whatever. But we're talking about our dating habits within the group. So you can still have allies without like you have to date them, for example. You could they still they'll still be part of the movement without dating them. I don't see how those two correlate.
Because you'd be surprised the amount of people that are part of the movement and then go back home to someone that ain't part of their culture. And then you're looking at yourself like, raw, if I had known, you would have never been let inside the club. But their work is the best. Imagine your best worker, imagine your best activist is someone that has a partner that's not from the culture. How would you look at yourself knowing that this is the person you was following? And they were doing the best job. Imagine.
I'm not going to lose sleep over
that. Huh?
But I'm saying I'm going to lose sleep over that. But I'm saying that.
All right, then. There you go. You wouldn't lose sleep.
No. See, what I'm saying is that I can't lose sleep over what's already happened. I'm talking about like I'm guessing you haven't children or you're married yet.
Now we're tiptoeing. Now we're tiptoeing. Let me give you a scenario. E-man.
Yep.
This is just an example. Disclaimer. E-man's wife. This is just an example.
Mm-hmm.
You see how E-man bangs on about the black community, and I love what he does. Yeah. How would you feel? Like, let's say we didn't know nothing about E-man's life, about his daughter, about his wife, or whatnot. Let's say we didn't know nothing, and then one day you see him walking down the road and he's holding hands with someone that's not black, not white. I'm not giving the actual.
Brent, did you tell them?
No. The reason why I say that is because now, as a black people, we've got to make the decision now whether we be ignorant and judge a man because of what he likes, or look at the man's heart. Now, cool, you're gonna tell me, if you're trying to if you're trying to empower and make the community better, you should be with a black person so you can procreate and make more black kids and whatnot. But what we got to look at is the bigger picture. You know, your mind and your heart are things that you cannot control, right? And I feel like
I don't agree with that.
when people say,
Love the choice.
when people say, you can, if you choose to be with a black woman, bro, I can choose to be with a black person tomorrow. Does that mean it's going to be healthy and beneficial for both of us? That doesn't necessarily mean that. And if people want to keep going into relationships just because
If you pick the right
it's
one.
what they feel like, if they feel like, just because they feel like that's what they should do, they're going to find themselves in situations where it's not working, because you're not doing what's right for you. You're doing what you think other people feel like you should live. And if you're living for other people, you're going to find yourself in problems. When you live for yourself, look how happy you are. Look how life is more, like, life gives you more of a will to live when you're living for yourself and not for others.
But the thing is, just that statement alone has told me which bucket you are. Individualism, collectivism. Live for yourself.
Oh
Me.
my
Like,
God.
we know where that path goes. We are naturally a group of
The
about
thing is,
collectivism.
it's funny.
We only
It's
became
really funny
individualists when we
because
moved to the Western world.
it's
Do you know what I
funny
mean?
because it's funny because I'm cool. Individualism's been said towards me, right? But no one knows how I feel on the inside when certain things are happening. No one knows when the ice cream van comes on my road and the little kids are playing outside. I'm getting ice cream for the black kids. I don't like. No one knows what I'm doing. No one knows how I feel about the community, but
Raheem,
individualism is
Raheem,
getting,
sorry, Black Rob.
yeah.
All I
Sorry,
can go
Black
off
Rob.
is sorry,
Sorry, Black
is
Rob.
what you've just said though.
Black Rob. Sorry,
Yeah?
sorry. Hold on for a second, please.
Sorry.
Raheem, are you currently dating somebody?
No, I'm single.
And the next one that you're looking to date, are you actively looking for it to be a black woman?
Nah, I'm actively looking for them to be like good for me. Like I'm done looking for skin tone, because if that was the case, I could be in a relationship tomorrow, Brett. Like,
Raheem, I know. You're looking for somebody that treats you well and they're compatible with you. But are you actively? Would you love your ideal scenario for it to be with a black woman?
yeah. No, wait.
No,
Wait.
that pause was far too long.
That year wasn't convincing at all.
That pause was because I don't know
Okay.
what
It wasn't convincing to you. Yeah, like, you're
gonna.
gonna tell me how I like. I'm telling, like, don't, like, I'm sorry, respectfully, you can't ask me a question and tell me it doesn't sound convincing. I'm thinking, and if I'm thinking, because Brent is someone that he likes to catch people out. So I'm thinking about the question. Ask it to me again. You said, do I ideally want it to be a black woman? I need to understand this.
Yes, sir, because you already
Okay,
said
cool.
the baseline, right? The baseline needs to be that she is a good woman for you, right?
That's what I go for first.
100%. 120%.
Preferably, in an ideal world, if I can have things my way, yeah, cool. She would be black. But after that...
Now that you've said that, now that you said your ideal scenario would be black, why don't you, for all the time that you are actively looking, whether it's on the app, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's in a club or whatnot, why don't you just say, for a whole year, I'm just going to be pursuing black women that are good? If that's your ideal preference, why don't you choose to not look to date any white girls, just black girls, and then see if it is that you can find one that is good for you?
But I'm doing that now though. Like, when I'm speaking to black girls, like, to be honest, even that black girl that I spoke to that even sparked this conversation, that it was a good thing we had that conversation, because it let me realize that we're not on the same page here. So everything up until that point was going good, you know, until that conversation came about, where I'm not allowed to not have a type. You get it? And in it, like you said, in the ideal world, cool, but remember, what I want might not be what is destined for me. You can want this. You can want whatever you want in life as much as you want. And if you're a religious person, I'm not religious, but if you're a religious person, one can tell you, but that's not God's plan for you. So then now what? You could want something as much as you like, but if that's not in God's plan, that's not in God's plan. I could want something as much, but if something's getting put in front of me, that's good for me, but they're just not black. Like, why am I gonna block a blessing? And then you're gonna jump, oh, it's a blessing. How is it a blessing if she's not black? Like, oh, it's not really a blessing, is it, if she's not black? Well, let's be mature and serious about. No, but
it's
no
just
one's
about moving
saying
with intent.
Moving with intent, but intention is through like how you feel and how you think, and like with action as well. But who I love has nothing to, because no one's gonna be looking at me when I'm slamming up the thing. Nah, no one's gonna be looking at me when I'm in bed cuddling up. No one's gonna be looking at me when I'm going through arguments. No one's gonna be looking at. They only see what they see when I'm standing and representing. When I go home, no one knows what's going on. So why does it matter what people do? Like, it's about their work and their actions, not about who they love and who they lay with. Like, people need to stop. Like, it's not that deep. Whoever you go to bed with is your business. Whatever you do is your business. The same way, like, what are we doing?
Sorry, one second. Do you know what it is? I do think it is that deep, just because other groups don't even have these discussions. It's just our unsaid contract, and we can talk about it without. There's certain groups that we know that are doing well in this world, and they don't even need to have the discussion. They just almost it's an untold thing that like even that video that we watched the other day of that Chinese girl that she says she loves black people, but she'll marry her because of culture. So that's innate in her.
Yeah, cool. Cool. You see how we was both about to draw for the same video and come with different points, yeah? Because you drew for the video and said, oh, like, she loves black men and da-da-da-da-da, but she would never go for it because of culture. Now, me personally, I kind of feel bad for her, because what you really love and what you really like, you're not even allowed to go there because of what someone else said. Like, someone...
There we go! We've got to
You're not even allowed...
We've got to
No, because hear it. You're not allowed to go and indulge in what you really like because of rules and regulations that was put there before you. Now, the same way she feels like she can never do that. She didn't seem. If I felt like if
no, don't cut it.
So
Wait.
If it was up to her, bro, she would have been had a black man. If it was up to her, if she felt safe enough and felt confident enough and felt like she's empowered enough to do whatever she likes, knowing that she's a Chinese woman, knowing that she wouldn't get ridiculed by her family, she would have indulged in a black man time ago. She just does what she does because it's comfortable and she feels safe doing that. Doesn't mean that that's best for her, because she can be with that Chinese man and then end up cheating on him in 40 years. Because, I want to find myself. I don't know myself. You know, like when people do things for other people, there becomes a breaking point where now you're like, fuck it. I'm going to do what I want to do. And then now you seem like you're rebellious, or you seem like you're a rascal, or you're reckless, when really and truly, this was you the whole time. Like, I would not be surprised in 20 years if that lady was to go on Twitter and say, yeah, finally done it, was with a black man now and I'm not going back. Because
when we watched that video, I saw someone that.
And this is the reason why. The reason why, bro.
1
The
minute
reason
left.
why, bro,
1
is
minute
because
left.
we're different people. There's different
Yeah.
perspectives. Like that's normal.
I think I addressed that from the beginning. Collectivism over individualism here. Individualism over collectivism there. She trumped us over I. This is what I want. This is what is probably better for the collective. And I think that's where we differ.
When I see examples of it, then I'll hear that, because right now it's just all theory. It's all theory to
Be the
say
change you
like
want to see.
it's just, bro,
A word.
like I said, that Asian woman, she would love a black man if she was allowed to, if she felt like she could do. You see me? I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks of me. Like I know what I stand on.
All right.
I know my views.
All right.
So, like, if I love someone that's not black, like, no one can tell me I'm less of a black man or I don't care about my black people. But I just love who I love. Like, face your front. Like, go to bed with whoever you're going to bed with and stop focusing about what I'm doing with my penis, bro. Like, focus what you're doing with yourself. How about that? And it's not an individual thing, but if we're gonna really do this, we need to stop judging our own people and let's look at what they're doing, like their actions, how their heart is. We need to stop
The actions, like who they marry.
Huh?
Yeah,
their actions,
okay,
like
cool.
who they marry.
Black Rob, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Cheers, bye.
All right, Raheem, just before you go, thank you for your call, by the way.
No worries,
A
man.
question came in, Brent. Please ask the guy his dating history. If someone has only dated one black person out of 10, you can question that. He's missing the point. You can't question someone's black skin, but you can question their view of other black people. I'm guessing your dating history is ...
Don't guess.
I've dated. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't want you to.
I've only ever been in 2 relationships, right? But I've dealt with and I've had interactions with many different like bare different cultures, right?
Question, sorry. You know the
So-
2 relationships you've been in, what race were they?
They were mixed.
Is it mixed race or they were mixed race?
Yeah.
Okay. Both
Black
of them.
and white.
Okay, both of them. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay.
you. You've been so helpful.
So now what, like does that
No.
No,
what
it's
does that mean
just
now?
nothing.
Okay.
It's right.
Okay,
It's all done.
cool.
So thank you very much for calling in, Raheem.
Yeah.
And next week when it is that we delve into a similar topic, then please
Call
you
up
can call
again,
in.
please.
No, definitely. I'm definitely gonna call up.
If
100%.
before you go as well, a couple of people in the chat wanted to ask how old you are. If you don't mind
I'm
disclosing.
23.
23. Okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm 23. I don't remember the boy's name, but there was someone that wrote in and he was like, "Oh, like I want a black woman, but the black girls don't like me." Like, even though my circumstance is different, I actually feel it for him. I'm an empath, innit? I'm a big empath. So when this is what I go back to. Like, it's not easy as everyone thinks it is. Like, you can love a black woman, but they just probably don't want you. So now what? I say he goes where the love is, man. Shout out my man, whoever it was. What's his name again?
Dwayne.
Dwayne, man. Big up Dwayne. You get me? Go where the love is, my brother.
Talk to you next week, Raheem.
Yeah,
Thank you
man.
very much
Make
for
sure you
calling.
call up.
Come on. Everyone stay blessed, man. Stay blessed.
You too, man.
Love you.
We have a couple more calls coming
So
in
we're
just before
not
we.
doing
No, topic of the day
headlines?
was that's topic of the day.
Yeah, that's the topic of the day. 100%.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's 2 topics of the day.
Brother.
Whoever was calling in, you can call in now. The line is now free.
While we're waiting, let me try and get through this first headline.
Please.
All right, so Boris Johnson, I was saying, was turned away from a polling station when he tried to vote in local elections after forgetting to bring his ID. Do you feel like that's kind of petty, though?
No, he did it on purpose.
Okay, cool. So you feel like,
You
let's
wanted
not
to be in the
entertain this
headlines.
foolishness.
He wanted to be in the headlines.
Okay, cool. Well, a spokesperson for the former Prime Minister told ITV News Mr. Johnson voted Conservative. Mr. Johnson introduced a 2022 law requiring all voters in England to produce photo ID. At the time, the government said that the change was to strengthen the integrity of the electoral process. Boris Johnson is not the only senior Conservative to forget photo ID at this election. On Wednesday, the Conservative MP, Tom Hunt, also asked local MPs to help him vote. Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, morning.
Morning.
How are you? You right?
Good, thank you. Can you guys hear
We
me?
can.
Loud
can
and
indeed.
clear.
Is this Abby?
Sorry, can I not say my name if that's okay?
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, so I called in
yesterday
as well about the same topic. And I guess the first thing I wanted to say is that, of course, like we're all individuals. Everyone can do what you want. No one is going to come and flog you in the street if you have a white partner or a non-black partner. But when I was listening to the guy that just called in, it kind of sounded like he was trying to convince himself like it was okay to sort of date outside of his race, and like first things first, like it is. And then like secondly, similarly to what I said like yesterday, is this obsession. I mean, I'm sure maybe there's like some scholar who's like written about this or something, but this obsession we have with dating outside of our race is just not healthy. And it's odd, particularly because most other races don't have the same obsession. And then even when they do think about interracial dating, we're not their first choice. How can we, again, similar to what I said yesterday, how can we always talk about, white supremacy, how it's affected us historically, presently, it affects every aspect of our lives. But suddenly when it comes to dating, love is love. It doesn't seep into that. It doesn't seep into our preferences. It doesn't seep into, how we view beauty and, who's eligible and who would make a good partner. Of course it does. Of course it does. And then another thing is, if you notice, even when he was talking about, or maybe if you can't find a black woman, or a black woman has treated you like this, X, Y, Z. Okay, so as an Oimbo person ever treated you badly, but you still will somehow date them. Has a white person ever treated you badly, but you still will somehow date them? And then even when you go into their house, the fact that you even have to think about whether they will accept you and how you navigate that speaks volumes. And then even on the issue of people being allies, you can have allies without dating them, because you can also date someone who's anti-black. That's another thing that people don't like talking about. I mean, that's why I think part of the reason why the film by Jordan Peele, Get Out, was so profound, because here you have this progressive, seemingly white family. Of course, they voted for Obama 2 times, and so of course they wouldn't be racist, they wouldn't be problematic. But when push came to shove, you saw that they prioritized their whiteness, their tribe and their people, if you will, over the safety of Daniel Kaluuya's character. So I guess that's all I wanted to say. So again, similarly to what I said yesterday, obviously everybody do what you want. You are an individual. God created all of us, but do not be valorizing people who by and large look down on you. Even if you want to date a non-black person, because I heard him talk about whiteness. I hope as black people realize that a lot of these other cultures, even in their native language, they have their own version of the N-word. So it's not about, okay, if I don't date white, it's okay to date another person of color. Even with the person of color, you still have to think about, all the insults you might chop if you go to that side. So it's just food for thought. Not every day, can we date outside? Can we date outside? You will not die if you don't date outside your race, because believe you me, they're not prioritizing dating you. So yeah, that's all.
What a fantastic call again.
Great. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Take care. Bye.
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 All right. 1 second, guys. All right, so our next headline, and this is about Sadiq Khan. Pretty much they're waiting to figure out who is going to be our next mayor. So Londoners have decided the fate of the Labour mayor, Sadiq Khan, and his Conservative challenger, Susan Hall, but the 2 front-runners must wait another day at least before the winner is announced. Most political commentators predict a historic 3rd-term victory for Khan, but he faces an anxious 36 hours after his commanding lead in opinion polls began to shrink during the final days of the 6-week election campaign. Polls close at 10 p.m. on Thursday, but officials will spend Friday verifying the ballot papers before counting begins at 9 venues on Saturday. And our last headline takes us to Israel, where pressure is mounting on the British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to suspend the sale of arms to Israel following the deadly attack on a convoy of aid workers in Gaza. Calls for Sunak to stop supplying Israel with weapons grew after an Israeli attack or airstrike on Monday killed 7 members of staff from World Central Kitchen, 3 of whom were British citizens. The government is still waiting on legal advice from its lawyers on whether or not selling arms to Israel is in breach of international law. Sunak is also under pressure to publish any legal advice he has been provided with on whether or not the Israeli government has breached international law through its actions in Gaza. A recording emerged on the weekend of Alicia Kearns, who chairs the UK Parliament's Foreign Affairs Select Committee, saying she is convinced the government has already received advice that Israel's actions are illegal and has declined to publish it. The governing Conservative Party is historically supportive of Israel, but the killing of British citizens has shifted the domestic debate. On Thursday, more than 600 lawyers, legal academics, and former members of the British judiciary wrote to Sunak, warning him that serious action is needed to avoid UK complicity in grave breaches of international law, including potential violations of the Genocide Convention. Our next headline, but I'll just keep going here. Hundreds of protesters have blocked an attempt to collect asylum seekers from a London hotel and take them to the Bibby Stockholm barge. Arrests were made as police waded into the crowd, blocking the road near a Best Western Hotel in Peckham. It was not until 3 p.m., 7 hours after it turned up, that the coach sent for the asylum seekers was able to leave the area without asylum seekers on board. And a number of police vans carrying protesters who had been detained were also able to leave. A total of 45 people were arrested for offences including obstruction of the highway, obstructing police, and assault on police. This according to the police. The Home Secretary, James Cleverly, condemned the protests and said that they will not deter us from doing what is right for the British public. But the scenes illustrated the challenges the government may yet face when it comes to carrying out deportations to Rwanda. Next headline, and 4 female presenters have lost a bid to take legal action against the BBC on grounds of equal pay. This according to a ruling by a particular judge. So, however, their separate claims, including sex and age discrimination, will go to a full employment tribunal. The BBC has rejected their complaints and successfully argued that the women had no grounds to bring an equal pay claim. Martine Croxall, Anita McVeigh, Corinne Giannone, and Cassia Madera said that they remain committed to seeking equal pay. A BBC spokesperson said that we are pleased with the result and that the tribunal has accepted our position. We will not be commenting further at this stage. And our last headline, Laurence Fox is facing police probe after sharing, trigger warning, upskirt picture of a TV presenter. So police are investigating a social media post by Laurence Fox in which he shared an upskirt photograph of a female TV presenter. The actor turned Reclaim Party politician posted a paparazzi photograph of television personality Narinder Kaur, which was reportedly removed from photo agency archives when upskirting became a criminal offence. In a post on X on Tuesday, this is basically what happened. The post remained on the site until Thursday when it was deleted. The Met Police told The Independent that it had been made aware of a post on social media regarding an upskirting offence and was carrying out their inquiries. Responding to the criticisms of his post, Fox suggested that he had shared the unsolicited picture because Miss Kaur had mocked right-wing commentator Leilani Dowden for her page 3 days. I guess that justifies it. Anyway, that's it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills. People's Journal.
Let's get into the People's Journal.
All right, people, welcome to the People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. Of course, just a quick reminder about next week, guys. There's going to be some train strikes. So again, the main days is Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the 7th, 8th, and the 9th of May. C2C, Great Anglia, Great Northern, Thames Link, South Eastern, Southern, Gatwick Express, South Western Railway, and Island Line. They're all going to be striking on Tuesday. Right, so plan your journeys properly, guys. On a Wednesday, Avanti West Coast, Chiltern Railways, Cross Country, East Midlands Railways, Great Western Railway, and West Midland Trains, they're going to be striking. And LNER, Northern Trains, and Transpennine Express, they're going to be striking on a Thursday, the 9th of May. London Underground drivers were meant to be striking on Saturday, this Saturday coming, but that's been cancelled, so everyone should be cool. Next thing I want to talk about is Apple, man. I don't know, do you guys feel like Apple's kind of flopping?
Why?
Because they ain't really selling that like they used to. Basically, according to the latest results from Apple, sales of iPhones have fallen in almost every market across the globe.
There's been no innovation.
This is it.
And also, they're doing this dumb thing where now they don't give you chargers.
That's been a while, isn't it?
Yeah, but
all of them though. Samsung do the same thing.
Yeah, but why? I don't understand. How can I get a phone and then have to buy it? It doesn't make any sense.
Horrible, isn't it?
And you're right, in terms of innovation, I don't think anything's been... Like, you're bringing out phones every single year and it's the same... To me, it's the same thing.
100%. 100%. They might just tweak the camera, but still, you guys' camera's always pretty much good anyway, so it don't make no difference. But yeah, they said that overall demand for their smartphones have dropped by more than 10% in the first 3 months of this year alone, with sales falling in every geographic region except for Europe. They said that overall revenues across the country declined by 4% to $90.8 billion, which was the biggest drop for more than a year. Nevertheless, the results weren't as bad as expected, apparently, and Apple's share price rose in the after-hours trading in New York. But yeah, so that's what's happening with Apple. But yeah, I think this is definitely going to continue, man, because the other companies are definitely focusing on how they can improve and whatnot. And I feel like Samsung, what's the other company as well? Huawei as well. They've all closed the gap on Apple. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Next thing, man. So this is still early days, but this is definitely a good thing. Hopefully, anyway, on the surface, at very least for our people, especially. And around 4,000 people with sickle cell disease in England could benefit from a life-changing new treatment. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's not directly economics, but like I always say, economics is life and life is economics. So this is definitely in there. So Health Leader said that voxelotor, which is also known as oxybrita, is made by Pfizer, will significantly improve quality of life for patients with sickle cell. For those who don't know, people with sickle cell produce sickle-shaped red blood cells, which can cause problems because the blood cells not survive long enough. And the healthy blood cells, basically. So, the blood cells do not survive long as healthy blood cells, and it can kind of block blood vessels as well. They don't really, attach to the hemoglobin as well. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's basically what's happening. But this new thing, which has been adopted by the NHS, basically is looking like hopefully this could be really transformative for a lot of people, man. And yeah, it's been given the green light for use in the NHS. So God willing, this will be put out there and hopefully it's successful. Next thing I wanted to mention is Stormzy. He's opened a multi-purpose youth centre, man. Murky FC, right? Yeah, the headquarters is in Croydon, apparently close to where he was raised. And they're looking to provide opportunities in football, music and gaming, everything, man. So big up Stormzy, man.
More of the same, more of the same.
He's
there
putting
needs to
in
be
the work.
different hubs all over
100%.
all over the UK, man.
100%. For the longest while, we've complained about what all the youth centres are closing down.
Yeah.
Government don't care. And again, it showed that we have to do it ourselves.
100%.
What a surprise. You know what I'm saying? But it's a beautiful thing that, you know what I mean, someone as brilliant as Stormzy is doing that. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully, like Brent just said, this will continue. You know what I'm saying? We can't rely on others. We really can't. So big up Stormzy every single time. That is pretty much it, you know, for the People's Journal. There's not much else to talk about.
So let's get into our last set of headlines.
Oh man, this will definitely be something that Brent and Black Rob likes. Well, not you wouldn't like this, but you'll definitely be in your conspiracy bag, man. Remember the other day we were talking about the Boeing whistleblower that died? Not the other day, but maybe about less than a month ago. A second Boeing whistleblower has died after a sudden illness. So Joshua Dean, who was a former quality auditor at Spirit Aerosystems, went public with claims that the company's leadership ignored manufacturing defects in Boeing's 737 MAX, right? Spirit Aerosystems, for which he was a quality auditor, is a Boeing supplier. Dean, 45 years old, had an active lifestyle and was believed to be in very good health prior to his sudden death on Tuesday, following the onset of a fast-moving infection. He was stricken with influenza B and MRSA and developed pneumonia. This according to Fox 59. He spent 2 weeks in critical condition before he died on Tuesday in Oklahoma. His sister, Taylor Ray Roberts, put out a post on Facebook and said, "My handsome brother Joshua passed away this morning and is with our baby brother. I don't know how much more my family can take. I don't know how much more I can take, honestly." Dean was from Wichita and is the second whistleblower to die this year after coming forward about safety issues in the aviation manufacturing industry. Boeing whistleblower John Barnett is the guy we first was talking about, 62 years old. He was found dead in his truck in a hotel parking lot in South Carolina in March. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Next headline, and Ukrainian authorities have charged a member of parliament with embezzling over £220,000. The National Anti-Corruption Bureau alleged the Ukrainian MP purchased assets far exceeding his official income. While it did not identify the politician, the Interfax Ukraine news agency and other Ukrainian media outlets named him as Andrei Klokov. Mr. Klokov is a member of the President Volodymyr Zelensky's servant of the party people. He has not publicly responded to the allegations. He was approached by the BBC for comment, but nothing's been said. In a statement, the National Anti-Corruption Bureau said that between 2020 and 2021, the MP had acquired assets worth 25 million, which is equivalent to basically £500,000, while he and his wife combined declared income and savings at the time was £284,000. So you see, a joint investigation has been put out there, and they pretty much found that the MP had purchased 3 plots of land near Kiev, 5 flats in the Ukrainian capital, 2 other premises, and as well as 2 other cars, a Tesla and a Mercedes-Benz. And our last headline, last week, Portugal's president said late on Tuesday that his country was responsible for crimes committed during the transatlantic slave trade and the colonial era, and suggested there was a need for reparations. So Portugal's colonial legacy in Africa, including Angola, Cape Verde, Guinea-Bissau, Mozambique, was marked by violence, dispossession, and cultural destruction. Now, Sao Tome plans to seek compensation for the damage caused by colonialism. So this move reflects a broader trend of African nations asserting themselves against the former colonizers. In 2021, Germany agreed to pay Namibia 1.1 billion euros for the genocide that it perpetrated over there. And similarly, in the DRC, there are calls for reparations from Belgium for colonial atrocities as well. This growing boldness signals a shift in dynamic in post-colonial relations as African countries demand acknowledgement and restitution for the injustices of the past. Pick up every African nation. Before we go on to the next part, I just remembered there was some news going around, rumours about how Senegal had removed French as their native language and wanted to move on to and make their native language Arabic, which obviously made a lot of people upset, including myself. I don't see why we need to have Arabic as any African, Black African national language, the main thing, right? But long story short, that young president, who hopefully will do a fantastic job over there, has said that's not the case. They've looked into it, and basically all it was basically he was adding it to the kind of like just another translation in it, because a lot of people speak Arabic over there, innit?
Do they? I have no idea.
You know, a lot of Muslim, predominantly Muslim countries, yeah. So all it was just saying we're going to add this to certain translations and stuff in it, so that, you know, everyone can be included. That's all it was. So guys, no one needs to be upset. But that's pretty much it for the headlines, man. It's time to pay them bills.
Time for the reaction. Okay, so we're giving you a bit of women in sports today. So Chelsea beat Tottenham Hotspurs 2-0. That was in the Prem. And then in the UEFA Europa League, you had Marseille and Atalanta drew 1-1. Bayer Leverkusen beat Roma 2-0. You had Olympiacos FC beat Aston Villa 4-2, and Fiorentina beat Club Brugge 3-2. I don't know if I said any of that right, but
all accurate.
I don't trust you. So yeah, those were the scores. I don't know what any of that means and if that's of any use to you, but for you football fans, love this for you, because that went straight over my head. Literally. Okay, so Chelsea defeat Spurs. Tottenham suffer a third consecutive defeat and another blow to their Champions League hopes, while Chelsea boost their European qualification ambitions with a strong London derby win at Stamford Bridge. An angry Spurs boss Postecoglou Help me out here.
Postakalu
Postecoglou Gugu
That's the one.
was particularly animated throughout the game in what was a poor Spurs performance that sees them remain 7 points behind fourth placed Aston Villa with one game in hand on Unai Emery's side. Did I say his name right?
Yes.
Unai?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
For Chelsea, they once again exposed Tottenham's vulnerability at set pieces at Chalobah's first half header, put them in front before Jackson rebounded in the header in the second half. Aston Villa's hopes of reaching the Europa Conference League finals were severely hit by a chaotic semi-final first leg defeat to Olympiacos. Ayoub's scored a hat-trick with 2 of his goals coming in the opening half hour as the Greek side stunned the home fans at Villa Park to take a 2-0 lead. Ollie Watkins reduced the deficit for Unai Emery's side on the Stoke of half-time before Moussa Diaby equalised moments after the interval. Olympiacos then roared back in front through El Kabi's penalty, sealing his treble and a deflected strike from Santiago Heze. Douglas Luiz missed a late penalty, which means Villa must overturn a 2-goal margin in the second leg in Pire on 9th of May to reach their first European final since 1982. I don't want to read this anymore, guys. I'm sweating. I'm actually sweating. My armpits are getting wet because I'm nervous. I don't like this.
What part are you?
The last one, please. Number 4.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, man.
I don't like reading. Wow.
To be fair, mine ain't gonna be much different, man. Athletes have called for a full and transparent investigation into the death of a boxer, man, by the name of Ardi Ndembo in Florida. Ndembo was 24 and he died from injuries suffered in a knockout defeat by Nesta Santana on the 5th of April. The Congolese boxer was undefeated in 8 fights before the bout, and the US-based Association of Boxing Commissions and Combative Sports Athletes Voice Committee has now called for action for the Florida Athletic Commission, who sanctioned that particular fight. The allegation that Ardi Ndembo was knocked unconscious in training shortly before his fatal bout deeply troubles and concerns us. They also said that if true, it is our belief that his death was preventable if recognized post-knockout protocols were practiced. Sad, man. Very sad. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the reaction, man. Hopefully we get more information on this Ryan Garcia situation, man, over the weekend. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it seems like, a lot of people are doubting him.
Yeah, man, it's a shame. Not that I know what you're talking about, but yeah.
It might be a no contest. It might be a no contest if it is proven that he took PEDs on purpose. But also, big fight on the weekend as well. Canelo and Munguia. It's going to be a big fight. I wonder what you guys think is going to happen. Like, Munguia, obviously, he's a young fighter. But, I feel like he's going to give Canelo problems because he's got the enthusiasm. He's young, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like at the same time, Canelo should get the job done. He's got the experience to really catch Munguia because he does leave himself open quite a bit. But, yeah, it should be a good fight, man. So we'll see what happens, man. But yeah, Brent, I think that's pretty much it for the reaction. Okay.
No, people are upset. See, Brent, this is why I can't trust you. I'm reading the comments. I can't trust you, man.
You did good.
The pronunciations were not it. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And Brent loves to throw me in the wilderness. I promise, if you clip me.
Impossible.
If you clip me.
Impossible. Impossible. I need you for this campaign, so impossible.
Did you say?
I need you for this campaign, so impossible.
Oh, because Brent knows I'll go and hate it. I ain't reposting nothing. Don't come and do collab, nothing. I will press reject.
100%. I'll be completely justified. Completely.
But yeah,
all
man.
right. Outro.
Yes.
So yeah, guys. Thanks for tuning in as always.
We ain't done,
Wow.
We ain't done the slide yet.
Oh. The only one you did. You didn't do slides for any of the headlines. Do not try it.
No.
You didn't. Did you?
I did.
No, you didn't.
I did it for the first and then the last.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You did for the last one and People's
The
General.
first
That's it.
one, we went into topic of the day. as opposed to headlines. We even started the headlines and then.
I know, but I don't remember. You didn't do it.
That's all right. You can say you can't remember.
Okay, that's fine. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. As always, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Have you liked? I said that already, but just make sure you do it before you leave. And also join the Discord. Are we here on Monday, Brent? Because it's bank holiday. People are asking in the comments.
No, we are not seen as bank holiday. But remember what's happening on Sunday at 7 p.m.
Sunday at 7 p.m. is when the official campaign video is going out. So make sure you are all there with your Twitter fingers, your Insta fingers, to make sure that you share, repost, all of that good stuff. And let's make this movement a great thing.
Yeah, man. Remember, there's 200 and something in the chat watching right now. Big up all of you, by the way. But the videos have been shared a lot less than that. So please, guys, share the videos, man. Let's get it out there,
That's
man.
what Raheem be talking about, isn't it?
You know what I'm saying?
His allies won't be doing that.
I'm telling you, they're passionate.
Damn. Never mind.
But yeah, man. Have a great weekend, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.